wanted this forever. I've been in the field with whatever they throw at me. Brush it off, pick myself up, moving on to the better. Hey. Ain't no errors, baby, it's a new era. I wake up early, feeling rich like I'm Kesha. I get to the paper, boy. Extra, extra. Work with me, you know that.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome in to another episode podcast. Talk about our favorite team, the Arizona Cardinals. Huge shout out to the people that are current in the chat. We got Nova, we got Cards, we got DJ Boogie, we got Martin, we got Timus, we got Rhino, AZ Jones, Diggy. What's up, man? Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Do me a massive favor, smack the like button here on your way in. Subscribe to the AZ Sports Fan here on YouTube. We're on the road to 19K. Cannot do it without you guys. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. If you guys have not already seen the title of this video and or not seen the thumbnail of this video, yes, about 2 hours ago, and I'm a little late to it, but just we got to cover it, right? We ended up hearing Ian Rapoport speak on the Kyler Murray stance, and although we already kind of knew, right? Although we already kind of knew that Kyler Murray and, the release was probably imminent, or we were going to kind of come to this mutual divorce, we ended up hearing Ian Rapoport of the NFL Network this morning, right, about an hour and a half ago, saying that Tua Tagovailoa likely to be released, Kyler Murray likely to be released as well. Now, he did make sure that he covered himself just in case something were to happen, right? He said, barring any last-second trades. That's what Ian Rapoport ended up saying. So, to clarify for the people in the back, Ian Rapoport said the Cardinals are likely to release Kyler Murray barring any last-second trades. Well, if you're coming out here saying that the Cardinals are going to release or likely release Kyler, what is the enticement for any team to potentially make a trade for Kyler? I feel like what the Cardinals have done in the management, in the organization, in everything from the very top, everybody has their hands in this cookie jar as a fumble, right? And I know there's some people here in the chat that are probably going to not like me saying that this is Monty Ossenfort's problem or fault. It's everybody's fault at the very, very top, from the Bidwells to Kime for extending them in the contract that they ended up doing it at. And then obviously Monty Ossenfort as well also has his hand in the cookie jar as well, because could they have done something a little earlier? Could they have not ignored the problem to the point where we are at right now? Yes, they could have. They absolutely could have. Now, would the Arizona Cardinals be on the hook for a lot of money if they did it earlier? Yeah, but that's exactly what we're dealing with right now. Why not do it earlier and not having to worry to now we're sitting in 2026 and we're talking about potential quarterbacks being Jimmy Garoppolo, for God's sakes. Good God. Like, what are we doing right now? But wherever the side of the coin is, or whoever you want to point the finger at, ladies and gentlemen, the truth of the nature is right now is that I don't think any team right now, or at least what the NFL world is saying, I don't think any team is looking to trade for Kyler Murray at this very moment. The contract, what people have been saying, is just way too high. Now, we're probably going to be living in a realistic stance here where likely Kyler Murray is going to be released. It's the truth. It's the truth. Ian Rapoport coming out here saying is not something that we don't already know. We kind of felt like this happening, right? We mentioned this yesterday as well, that this is probably what's going to happen because the Cardinals keep kicking the can down the road and they didn't do anything about it. It took Kyler Murray's team to come out and saying, hey, my client wants to be released, right? It took them to come out and say, hey, we want to be released, because they truly feel like Kyler Murray is probably going to be one of the best quarterbacks in this market if he does hit the open market, which right now it seems like that most likely is going to happen, right? Like that right now seems to be evident. Now, before we get to what's next and before we get to, any other stuff we want to talk about, I want to go and just real quick shine some attention on something that I mentioned yesterday that I want to make sure I clarify on, because I was on one last night when I was on the live stream, and I most misspoke on something that I want to make sure that I clarify right now. I ended up talking about Paris Johnson Jr. yesterday, and if the Cardinals were to extend him, that we were going to get affected in this year. honestly, I was on a ramble. I wasn't even thinking what years he was drafted. I wasn't even thinking about that. I was just kind of talking at that very moment. I want to be very, very clear. If the Arizona Cardinals extend Paris Johnson Jr., which I do believe that they should, right? Absolutely. And right now, the contract is about $19 million projected right now. I want to make sure that I own up to my mistake, and I absolutely misspoke on my last podcast. If the Cardinals extend Paris Johnson Jr., it will not affect the 2026 cap. It's not even going to take into effect until 2027. So I wanted to make sure I come out here and right my wrongs. And anybody, if anybody was out there, so that 19 or whatever the cap is, or whatever the specific number of guaranteed is. We don't know the details as of right now, but whatever that comes up, we'll dive into a little later on. But that will not affect this year's cap space, and most likely will affect next year's cap space in 2027 because he has one more year in his rookie deal. So I want to make sure I go ahead and shine the light on that. But let's focus here on what everybody here is talking about, right? On what everybody wants to talk about right now, and that is Kyler Murray likely to be released and what's next here for the Cardinals. Now, we can go back and forth and, attack each other left and right, and we can go out here and say things to ourselves like, man, I told you we shouldn't have done this. Well, the circumstance is right now that the Cardinals are a team that is in the NFC West, which is a really, really tough division, and they're a team right now thinking to themselves, who can we get as a potential suitor to be a bridge guy? Well, to me, if you're asking me, I mean, if you're looking at the roster, Jacoby Brissett is still on this roster, right? But there's some real serious reporters out there saying that the Cardinals have their eye on Jimmy Garoppolo. Now, we ended up making a video about this a little earlier on. If you guys watched it, appreciate you guys for tuning in. Notification Squad, thanks for obviously showing out and obviously watching the videos and supporting. But now Jimmy Garoppolo has now entered the chat, right? Now, I don't know if this is going to come out with a Arizona Cardinals trading Jacoby Brissett. I mean, that's what I expect if they do decide to bring in Jimmy Garoppolo. If they decide to bring in both, that's a little odd to me that you have two veterans that are battling it out. Like, I guess it wouldn't make sense to me unless they truly don't feel like there's a quarterback here that they really want. I mean, I don't know how that's going to shake out. We still have the free agency that's going to be opening up, or at least the tampering period is going to be opening up a week from tomorrow. So we're going to have a little bit more clarification on where the Cardinals decide to spend their money. But with this potential release of Kyler Murray, now we're living in a world right now, ladies and gentlemen, where what I feared is going to come into fruition, right? The dead money hit on what the Cardinals are going to be dealing with is going to be a real thing. Now, shout out here to Over the Cap. Even in this is most likely going to be a post-June designation. Like, let's be real. This is most likely going to be a post-June 1st designation if the Cardinals do actually release him. Now, Ian Rapoport says he expects it to happen. I don't think there's anybody and there's no suitors out there, which is crazy to me with the market that it is right now. It's crazy. And that's why I always look to the front office and I always look to the Cardinals organization and said, you fumbled this, man. You absolutely fumbled the opportunity to potentially trade away Kyler, right? But we're not going to dive into that. You all know how I stand on this whole situation. But this is where the Cardinals are dealing with right now. If they cut him pre-June 1st, we're talking about a dead money hit of $54.7 million, a cap savings of negative $2 million. So it doesn't make sense to cut him pre-June 1st. It most likely is going to be a post-June designation, or at least I would hope the Arizona Cardinals were to go do this direction. But even then, it doesn't really save that much money towards dead money. It's still going to be a dead money hit of $57.5 million and a cap savings of 5.1. So how this is going to affect the Arizona Cardinals' current cap space right now? Well, I'm not the biggest guru when it comes down to cap savings or what the Cardinals can do. All I know right now is that the Arizona Cardinals per over the cap have upwards of about $31.6 million. Now, dead money is a real thing. Is that going to affect the cap space? It is. In some way or another, it's going to affect the cap space. I don't know what the number is going to look like. I don't know if the Arizona Cardinals are indeed going to try to open up some more money, right, with the release of the players that we mentioned before, your Dalvin Tomlinsons, your James Conner, your Sean Murphy-Buntings, right, those players that could open up some more cap space. I don't know if the Cardinals are going to do that, but seeing this dead money hit, it almost kind of feels like the Cardinals should do something or maybe restructure some sort of deals to open up some more space, right? But if you're looking at like who can open up some more space, I mean, the only real players that are getting paid a lot of money is Budda Baker and Josh Sweat. Like I said, if you want to cut if you want to cut Dalvin Tomlinson, you could save $14.5 million if you want to call it a post-June 1st designation per over the cap, right? So you can save a lot of money that route if that's the route the Cardinals wanted to do. So I don't know, man. This is such a tricky situation the Cardinals are finding themselves in because it's not like nobody's gonna want to get Kyler Murray. I promise you, the vultures will be surrounding Kyler Murray's people. The vultures will be surrounding Kyler Murray's people the moment the Cardinals release him. They will be surrounding him. Now, can they sign him pen to paper? Probably not because it's going to be a post-June designation, right? Or post-June first designation. So they probably can't sign him pen to paper, but like obviously agreements can be agreed to. It's just contracts can't be signed as of yet. So it's going to be very interesting, man. It's so interesting that the era of Kyler Murray, it's not even the fact that it's ending or that we knew that this moment was going to be here. It's how it's ending, right? It's how the Cardinals weren't able to get nothing out of a former first overall pick in the 2019 NFL draft. We are not getting anything back other than compensation that's going to hit us so darn bad in terms of dead money hit. And here we are. Very unfortunate. I hope nothing but the success for K1 and wherever he lands. But I'll tell you right now, there's 6 teams out of the 6 teams that I'm going to mention right now. And I'll get to the super chat right now. RC3, I see you up there. Appreciate you. There's out of these 6 teams that I have here, I almost promise you 3 of these teams are going to come calling his people. I almost promise you. The Vikings are probably going to be in play. Maybe the Steelers will be calling for some sort of clarification. I can very well see the Falcons maybe do it. The Jets probably can do it as well. Now, if it's going to be up to Kyler, he probably won't choose the Jets over a winning organization. No, I definitely very well see if Kyler gets released, most likely going to be landing with the Vikings. I mean, they're not having to spend draft capital at all. It sucks and it's very unfortunate, but the circumstances are the circumstances right now. The Cardinals did not know how to maneuver this Kyler Murray thing, and it's very apparent that per Ian Rapoport, likely Cardinals will be releasing Kyler Murray. Now, when? We don't know. We can wake up later on today if you take a nap. It could be later on today. It could be the next week. It could be the next 2-3 days. We don't know. But Ian Rapoport ended up saying, likely to be released, barring any last second trade offers, he said. I mean, if you're going to release them, what's the trade offers? The only thing I would say right now is that what can help out the Cardinals is if there is multiple teams that absolutely want him. That's the only thing that can save us as an Arizona Cardinal fan base, that there's 2 or 3 teams that absolutely want him. That's the only thing right now. And I just don't see it happening, man. I really don't. It most likely is going to be a release. Post June 1st designation release by the Arizona Cardinals. Man, oh man, oh man, oh man. What a day to be alive here. Let me get to RC3. We got a $10 donation coming our way. Thank you so very much. Appreciate it, man. He says this: why are we giving Kyler his flowers when his leadership gave us dust? Not even thought to restructure his contract for better trade is selfish. Monty can't negotiate, and Kyler is a diva. Draft right now. I mean, yeah, good call out. I mean, honestly, I think me and you, RC3, we agree on a lot of different things, right? And it is very unfortunate that the Arizona Cardinals right now are sitting at March 1st and there's no real plan other than release. They fumbled this. They fumbled it. You don't want to blame Monty? Okay, but give Monty some sort of blame because he deserves a portion of the blame. You want to blame Steve Keim? Okay, perfect. You blame Steve Keim on that as well. Every part of the leadership of the Arizona Cardinals since Kyler Murray's been here has a hand in the cookie jar as to this debacle and how this ended up transpiring. And if you can't admit that, then nothing will ever change because, yes, the Cardinals could have moved off of Kyler sooner. They didn't. They held him on. They were holding for dear hope. And the circumstances are the circumstances, man. And it sucks. To me, I'm going to choose the route of Kyler Murray didn't owe us a damn thing. Kyler did not owe us a damn thing at all. Could he have restructured his deal? He could have. I mean, but he got benched. I don't think he would want to restructure his deal. I don't think he owed the Arizona Cardinals a damn thing at all. So to me, seeing this, right, when you're saying with the the flowers that I'm going to give him is the only thing I would say is I hope nothing but the best for you and your endeavors. That's the only thing I would say, right? I don't wish any ill on you. If you have success, perfect. Go on, do your thing. It was time for the Arizona Cardinals to do is, to move on. But I don't think Kyler Murray owed us anything at all. But like now, going in my own head, right? I'm listening to all the rumors that everybody was talking about prior, right? Your P2 rumors, right? Your Patrick Peterson rumors, right? When Patrick Peterson came out and said Kyler doesn't care about anybody but Kyler, right? And even all the rumors that were coming out before the Cardinals drafted him, those things are now starting to kind of flood into my mind right now and saying, damn, we probably should have known. But I'm gonna be real. I was on board with the Cardinals extending Kyler. I was. I'm not going to come out here and sit here and act like I wasn't. I was on board with that. But now, do we look a little like our eggs on my eggs on my face? Yeah, it is. I didn't know that the contract was labeled out the way that it was. I didn't know that there was another guaranteed salary hitting in 2027. At least per over the cap, it never showed that. So it sucks, man. It sucks, but the circumstances are the circumstances. Kyler Murray most likely is going to be choosing his own team to go to unless, quoting Ian Rapoport, barring any last-second trades, which if everybody knows right now that he's most likely going to be released, who's going to give us anything? Who's going to give us anything? And the crazy thing right now is that he's not even worth a day 3 pick is crazy to me. Is absolutely crazy to me. He's not even worth a day 3 pick. 4, 5, 6, 7th round is nuts. But I get it. Draft picks are just things that people like to swing around. What people are trying to avoid is that contract that he currently has right now. That's what people are trying to avoid right now. And I get it. I get it. RC3 on the chat again says Monty took this job for cheap to pay off of Kime and Cliff. I get it now. Well, let's be real. I mean, I don't think anybody had Monty Ossenfort and nobody had Jonathan Gannon on their top list of guys that were trying to get hired, right? Ian Cunningham was the guy that I really wanted, but Ian Cunningham didn't want nothing to do with the Cardinals. He wanted nothing to do with the Cardinals. He didn't want to interview with the Arizona Cardinals. That's who I wanted as the general manager. When we were looking for GMs and head coaches, that's what I was truly looking for. And when Monty Ossenfort came in and I started off the whole let Monty cook thing, do I regret it? Yes, I do regret it now, but just like I give everybody the opportunity to show me that they can do things, when they come in, I'm going to give them the opportunity. Just like any other guy that comes in the draft in the 3rd overall pick. I'm going to give him the opportunity to show that he can do something. And if he can't, then we start kind of going against him. But yeah, man, it sucks. We got another super chat coming our way this time. Oh, same thing. Another one from RC3. Appreciate you, man. Thank you so very much. He says this: Kyler couldn't negotiate to get a better O-line, and he chooses to get Paris. There's 4 more spots, Kyler Murray's. Here's the thing: when you're the general manager of any team, players' opinions are important. They are. They're absolutely important. They're gonna weigh in what they want, but the end of the decision is gonna be Monty, right? Monty, Michael Bidwell. At least the way that this organization is run, it's gonna go through them, right? It's gonna go through them. I don't blame Kyler one bit. I don't blame him. I mean, he wanted Paris. Cardinals got him Paris. Cool, right? But it's not. It's so much more than just your left tackle. This whole O-line needs a facelift, man. A whole O-line needs a facelift. Circumstances, it sucks, man. It's crazy to know right now they're sitting in March 1st and you're getting nothing but a big dead money hit for Kyler Murray. And will he succeed with the Vikings? I mean, some people will say that he probably will succeed with the Vikings. Some people out there will truly come out here and say that he will truly succeed with the Vikings because of KOC and the weapons they have over there. Now, I did see that the Vikings are looking to open up some more cap space, but currently right now, the Vikings are in cap hell right now. They're in cap hell right now. I believe Aaron Jones was a name that was floated around about the Vikings potentially releasing him. And who was the other one that was said to be released by the Vikings? Let me double check here real quick. Aaron Jones and Javon Hargrave. Those are the guys that are said to be released. And I believe per Adam Schefter that they were already kind of told, right? But I think that opens up about $17 million. So they're trying to open up some more money. Are they bringing in Kyler? I don't know. I don't know, right? All we can do right now is speculate on the idea that Vikings are making moves. Cardinals are still sitting on their hands right now, where they can open up some more money. They can restructure some deals. But as of right now, it kind of feels like the Cardinals are taking another route of maybe a cheap route. And I don't even know if Malik Willis is attainable at this point. I really don't. I don't know how the cap is going to get affected with the dead money hit from Kyler. I don't know. I do not know. I'm not going to act like I'm some sort of savant when it comes down to the cap space, because that's something I'm going to let the actual cap experts handle. And once we know, we'll get a better understanding in terms of how much money the Cardinals truly have, right? Because if you're paying Kyler and that's going towards the books, I'm assuming it's going to affect the cap some way or another, right? Some way or another. Now, another way to look at this as well is if Kyler Murray is truly released, which likely to be a release per Ian Rapoport, does that affect the market of Malik Willis? Maybe. Maybe Malik Willis and those reports that came out, which, let's be real, those most likely were reports coming from um, his sports agent, right? The guys that represent Malik Willis, most likely they were coming from him, right? So they were like, he can covet $30 million. Maybe Kyler Murray being released and him not being the hot commodity out there, the best quarterback with the most intrigue, maybe this helps out the Arizona Cardinals in some sort of way, right? Maybe $30 million is not what he actually gets. Maybe he gets 20. Maybe he gets 25. I don't know. I don't know. But maybe this does help the Cardinals some way or another. I'm just looking for, I'm trying to look at some sort of light at the end of the tunnel, because I'm telling you right now, just the way that the Cardinals have handled this whole situation, I'm not the biggest fan of. I'm really not. But the circumstances are the circumstances. Per Ian Rapoport, likely Tua Tagovailoa is going to get released, and Kyler Murray most likely will get released. And the crazy thing of this whole situation, where everybody keeps telling me like, "Oh man, this is not Monty's fault. He inherited the contract of Kyler." Look what the Dolphins are doing, man. The Dolphins are gonna cut Tua Tagovailoa. They're gonna cut him, and guess what? He's gonna have a massive cap hit. They don't care. They don't care one bit. They made a mistake. Greer, which was their former general manager, made a mistake, and then they said deuces. They said deuces. So if the Cardinals wanted to do it, now obviously it's Bidwell more than Monty. They can do it. They can do it. They chose to hold on to Kyler because they thought they had something in him. But guess what? Here we are, right? A year removed from me talking about we need to come up with a plan after Kyler is now coming into fruition, and now, quote unquote, likely to be released per Ian Rapoport. Man, oh man, oh man. 56 bands. We got a 5 coming our way. Appreciate you, man. Thanks so very much for the super chat. He says this: if Simpson is gone by our second round pick, do we take Aller in the second? I don't think he makes it past round 2 in a quarterback needy team, or maybe take Green later. That's a good question. That's a good question. I don't know. Maybe Aller in the third, I would say, because the second round pick that you have is so high that, let's say, for example, that the Cardinals go trenches, right? And now we have Cardinal fans saying they want to go running back. Now, that can be debated back and forth. If you're on the Jeremiah Love train, that's fine. You can be on the Jeremiah Love train. I don't think it's going to happen personally. I can be wrong, but I'm not going to waste my time debating whatever, right? If you want to have them, cool, no worries. Let's just say Jeremiah Love or trenches, right? Let's just put it there. If you go that route, the Cardinals are in desperate need of trenches on the offensive side of the ball. Right tackle, right guard, right? That most likely will probably be addressed with that second round pick. Now, unless the Cardinals go crazy in free agency, but like I said, like I'm struggling to find out how the Cardinals are even going to have any cap with this dead money hit. Now, like I said, I'm no savant when it comes down to the cap space and how this cap is gonna, or the dead money hit is gonna affect Kyler Murray and the Arizona Cardinals, or more the Cardinals than Kyler. But I'm assuming he's gonna have some sort of effect. If the Cardinals address the right tackle position and free agency, it does open us a little bit more wiggle room, right? It does open up a little bit more wiggle room to potentially go after an Aller in the second round. But to me personally, you probably would be looking along the lines of maybe a third rounder or maybe even a fourth round pick for Aller. I mean, he's got a lot of potential. He's got a lot of really good traits. I was watching the combine coverage, and I mentioned it on the last video that I posted. A lot of the announcers have an issue with his footwork. He's got a rocket arm. Oh man, he's got a real good arm on him. But any guy right now that the Cardinals might have some sort of chance in, they need to sit at least 5, 4, 6, a whole year. They need to sit some games to develop, right? It's even in talking about Ty Simpson. If Ty Simpson actually beats out whatever Freddie Recorder comes back, like actually beats him out, then cool, kudos to him. But I still would like for him to sit for a little bit. But I don't know. I think the second round pick is a little too rich for me when it comes down to Aller. But Aller's intriguing, and Nussmeier's pretty intriguing as well. But yeah, man, uh, I don't know. I don't know what the Cardinals are gonna do. It's the crazy thing that we're in right now, but I don't know. Great question though. Very good question. We got RC3 with another one. Sheesh. Moneybags RC3. He's got another one coming our way. Appreciate you, man. Where is my here it is.
Another one.
Appreciate it. This time RC3 says this. Malik Willis is asking for Kyler Murray money, but guess what? No O-line. Another Kyler situation all over again. We need to draft in our we need drafters in our front office. Well, yeah, I mean, that's why I'm not really like I'm not gonna force an Aller pick myself. Ty Simpson, on the other hand, I would take him in the second round if he's there. But man, the rumors out there about Ty Simpson potentially going in the top 15, potentially going in somewhere in the 20s, they're real, man. They're really real when it comes down to Ty Simpson. So I don't know if we can even get him. I'm not using my third overall pick on Ty Simpson, though. That's for sure. I'm not using my third overall pick on Ty Simpson. There's so many other needs on this team that the Cardinals need to address, right? And we know Francis Mauigoa's measurements came out as well. I've said this before. Francis Mauigoa and Spencer Fanu. Spencer Fanu is probably going to be a guard. He's probably going to be a guard. You can't use a third overall pick on Spencer Fanu. Now, he's going to come out as a tackle. Now, how that shakes out, I don't know, right? But between the two guys, I think Mauigoa is the better out of the two. He's got a lot more upside of actually being a right tackle. But now we're starting to kind of see the measurements of Mauigoa, and we're like, oh boy, third overall pick, maybe not. I mean, that's what we've been talking about the whole time. There's none of these offensive linemen that are coveted the third overall pick. None of them. But those edge rushers do. Those edge rushers do covet the third overall pick. Bailey, Bain, Arvell, right? Those type of guys, they do cover the third overall pick. But it's just going to really depend on what happens with the Jets and what the Cardinals do in free agency, right? So yeah, offensive line is a massive need by the Arizona Cardinals. So let's see. Morphus in the chat says Arizona benched Kyler, so the entire league knows Arizona will cut him. It's obvious Arizona will not keep him and pay him in 2027 money. Vikings will pounce to sign Kyler for the vet minimum. True. There's no reason. It's obvious that if Kyler gets released, that who he will choose, and we've already talked about the rumors 3 weeks ago, right? We talked about the rumors 3 weeks ago. Kyler wants the Vikings. I don't think anybody else really has a chance or a hope, right? Look at all these other teams. Kyler won't go. He won't choose the Browns over the Vikings. He won't choose the Jets over the Vikings. He won't choose the Dolphins over the Vikings. I mean, Atlanta's pretty intriguing because also in a dome as well. I don't think he would choose the Steelers over the Vikings. The Vikings right now are the favorites. It's going to be up to one of these other teams to come out and say, hey, I actually want a fair crack. I actually want a chance at Kyler. This is what I'm willing to give you. But per Ian Rapoport's report, barring any last second, trades, he's likely to be released. Kyler and his people got what he wanted. He wanted to be released. He wanted to be the big name hitting free agency. All right. Do you? RC3 with another super chat. Sheesh.
Another one.
This time a $2 donation. He says this. Can we trade back to get 2 firsts and get a quarterback and a running back? Wait, can we trade back to get 2 firsts and get running back in a QB? You're saying in this draft? I mean, well, anything's possible if you're willing to trade back, right? I mean, I've pitched the idea of the Arizona Cardinals potentially trading back and still getting Jeremiah Love, right? Now, how far back do you want to go for Jeremiah Love? I know I'm seeing some rumors out there saying, "Oh, the Titans might want to get Jeremiah Love." I would be shocked if Robert Saleh did that. I mean, I wouldn't put it past him, right? He's probably seen to be as one of the best talented prospects coming out of this year's draft, and that's why Cardinals fans want him, right? They want him because he's seen to be generational talent, right? But the Cardinals right now are so far removed from just a running back saving the day, right? That's why it doesn't make sense to me. Now, if you trade back and still get Jeremiah Love, I'm cool with it, right? But it depends on how far back you get or go to acquire a first rounder. I don't know if it's really attainable, to be real with you. Like, I really don't. If the Cardinals trade back and lose out on Jeremiah Love, that again is a fumble on its own. So it just depends on how it all falls, man. I could say right now, yes, it's possible, but none of us really know how this draft is going to shake out. Nobody does, right? Nobody does. We can speculate, we can do mock drafts, but nobody knows. Nobody knows how this is going to shake out. RC3 in the chat says Love and Ty Simpson as a late first. Damn. Well, let's think of it this way. Let's say Monty Austinfort says F positional value, right? Let's just say we live in that world, right? Let's say we live in the world where Monty Austinfort says, forget positional value. I want to get who I think is a generational talent guy, right? And right now, when you look at the top of the board, Jeremiah Love is quote unquote seen to be that guy, right? So let's say, for example, he takes that route, right? You get Jeremiah Love at 3, which if it happens, okay, whatever, let's go Jeremiah Love, right? I don't condone it, but it is what it is. It's his decision. If he goes that route, okay. Then the Cardinals absolutely need to trade up somewhere in the first round. They need to. They're probably going to have to give up maybe a first rounder next year. Maybe they'll give up a second next year. I don't know. Just depending on how far they move up from their current second round pick. Like, if you want Ty and Love, you're going to have to be uber aggressive. Because now we're starting to hear the Jets. Oh, man, the Jets might want, Ty Simpson. Cleveland might want Ty Simpson now, right? Steelers have been talked about Ty Simpson as well. The Rams have been talked about Ty Simpson as well. So because of that, the Cardinals, they need to find a way to get back into the first round. I don't know how far up, but they need to find a way. Cleveland has 2 first-round picks. Let's not forget. Cleveland has 2 first-round picks this year. The Jets have 2 first-round picks this year. Cleveland has the 6th overall pick, and they got the 24th overall pick. The Jets have the 16th overall pick, and they got the 2nd overall pick. So those are some teams that can very well get Ty Simpson. I mean, to me personally, I would hope the Browns don't get after Ty Simpson. Stop ruining these QBs, in my opinion, but the Browns are going to do what the Browns are going to do, right? Browns are going to do what the Browns are going to do. So that would be a cool tandem. That would be awesome to see Ty Simpson and Jeremiah Love, but let's see how it all shakes out here at the end of the day. But yes, for the people that are just joining in, we are talking about the latest reports coming out here from Ian Rapoport in the combine coverage. He ended up coming out and saying Tua Tagovailoa likely to be traded. Kyler Murray likely to be traded as well, barring any last-second trades. So maybe within the next couple weeks. No, I'm sorry. Not the next couple of weeks. In 1 week from today. I'm sorry. I'm wrong. Let me run it back one more time. 1 week from tomorrow. Today's Sunday. It's not Monday. Get that out of my head. 1 week from tomorrow is the tampering period that opens up, where the Cardinals can start, negotiating with free agents, right? On Monday. Wednesday is when it's officially pen to paper, right? Pen to paper. So maybe sometime this week, the Cardinals make it official. That indeed the Cardinals are going to move off of K1 by release, which sucks because you can't get anything from your former first overall pick. But the circumstances are the circumstances right now, ladies and gentlemen. It is what it is. It sucks. Humble Rumble in the chat says, that's your opinion, love or bust. Yeah, it is my opinion, 100%. Yeah, I wouldn't go love. I don't think it's love or bust personally. No, I don't think it's love or bust. If you go love and it works out and he's that generational guy, then cool. Then it worked. Awesome. Andy in the chat says Browns will select a quarterback each year in their collection. It feels like it, man. They got two quarterbacks last year, Shador, and they also got Dylan Gabriel, and they don't know what they're doing with Deshaun Watson, right? They're just picking. They're just picking to pick right now. So Michael in the chat says, yes, that's true. The Rams do also have 2 first-round picks as well. The Rams are sitting with the 29th overall pick, and they are sitting with the 13th overall pick as well. So some might say that you got to get in front of all these teams if you want to get Ty Simpson. I don't know if that's even realistic for the Cardinals to go back in the top 12. I don't think it's realistic, to be real with you. Like, Cincinnati is not getting him. Kansas City's not getting him. New Orleans is not getting him. Washington's not getting him. Cleveland, I doubt they get him with the 6th overall pick. Giants aren't getting him. Tennessee right now still on the Cam Ward train. The Jets aren't getting him with the 2nd overall pick. Vegas is obviously going Fernando. Like, you got to get in front of a lot of these teams, and I don't see the Rams going with the 13th overall pick for Ty myself, but I wouldn't be surprised with that 29th overall pick that they have. I wouldn't be surprised. So yeah, man, you got 3 teams right now that has 2 first-round picks. So it's interesting. It's interesting. Andy in the chat says Jets a greedy share some picks. I mean, they sold a lot of their assets this last year. They deserve their first-round picks, man. They do. Sinner in the chat says, "Can we still send K1 to the A's?" No, that ship has sailed, man. That ship, unfortunately for us, we're not getting anything out of Kyler, but I promise you, Kyler Murray will be landing himself on a 53-man roster next year. I promise you. Cardinals are going to be on hook to pay him still, which sucks, but it's the way that it all shook out. It's the way that it all shook out at this very moment. I'm still, at this very moment, I'm still very high on the Arizona Cardinals potentially going after the here we go. Wrong graphic. There it is. I'm still really, really high on the Arizona Cardinals getting one of these 3 guys, right? One of these 3 guys at the 3rd overall pick right now. These are my top 5 guys I would love the Arizona Cardinals to get at the 3rd overall pick. I have Jeremiah Love down there, right? I want to make it clear. I don't hate Jeremiah Love. I like him. I really do. I think he's a great prospect. Just not the 3rd overall pick. Just not at the 3rd overall pick. But these are the guys that I would like the Cardinals to potentially go after, right? It's all trenches. It's all trenches. I don't really have my eye on a lot of wide receivers. Cornerbacks, Middle linebacker, not really. Not here. Not here. But with the 3rd overall pick, these are the guys still. And of course, there it is. Jeremiah Love's there. So I don't hate him. I don't hate him. It's just positional value is a real thing. Positional value is a real thing. True in the chat says Bane with the short arms. No thanks. I mean, people are making a big deal with the short arms. I mean, look what he did in college. That didn't stop him from wreaking havoc. That didn't stop him from wreaking havoc. Yeah, is it a little concern? It is. It's a little bit of concern. But kid's a baller, man. Kid's a baller. I also do like David Bailey as well. I think David Bailey can be a really good player. He's a little bit more raw. I mean, I know people pointed out to me the 3-cone drill. I think it was a 3-cone drill. Was it? It was the one where you have to stand up and your hips get. You have to kind of like move your hips. A lot of people were like, "Oh man, he's too stiff." I mean, I saw the same thing, but I still do think that they're probably coveted the 3rd overall pick. Arvell on the other side. And I know there's a lot of people out there saying, "Oh, don't compare him to Isaiah Simmons." The problem is that I just don't trust Nick Rallis. I don't trust Nick Rallis, man. I really don't. I don't trust Nick Rallis to put him in the best position to succeed. And I'm looking for a guy this year to be good. Like, be that guy that we drafted in the 1st round. That's what I'm looking for this year, right? A lot of expectations for our 1st round pick this year. No doubt. No doubt. Adrian says Bailey has no dip. Yeah, and Bane does. Bane does. Bailey's got a spin move, though. Bailey's got a spin move. Enter Dwight Freeney, right? He's got a spin move that's pretty nice, nasty on him. So that's what he's working with. Definitely doesn't have the bend that Bailey. I'm sorry, not Bailey. I'm sorry, that Bane has. But yeah, agree with that. Agree with that. Wind, what's up, Wind? Wind says releasing Kyler was always in the cards. Even after his release from the Cardinals, I don't see Kyler playing as QB1 and will eventually become a specialty player. Dang. That would be crazy. That's crazy. I don't I don't I think he will be a QB1 next year. I think he will. Now, if he's not, ooh, damn. I think he will be, though. I think next year he will be a QB1. There's just so many quarterback needy teams right now that I think that by default he will be. Now, what happens past 2026? I don't know. Can he stay healthy? I don't know. If he goes to the Vikings, will he last in Green Bay playing on the outside weather in November? I don't know. Will he last in the other inclement weather over there in Chicago? I don't know. I don't know. So there's a lot of I don't knows right now with the whole Kyler Murray thing. But I think he could definitely very well probably be a QB1, in my opinion. Michael in the chat says Kyler's a punt returner. Yikes. Big yikes. Jordan Tyson to the Cardinals will be fire. I just don't see it happening, man. I really don't. I'm worried about Tyson's ability to stay healthy. That's number one. And number two, what do you do if you do go Ty Simpson with the third overall pick, right? What do you do? Like, you got Michael Wilson that's absolutely exploded this last year, right? Or at least the last 7-8 games. You got Marvin Harrison Jr. as a solid number 2 wide receiver, right? What do you do with Jordan Tyson, right? Your wide receiving core becomes there's too many mouths to feed. And then on top of that, you got the best tight end in the NFL. I just don't see it happening. Unless the Cardinals do trade away Marvin, which I don't think it's going to happen. Like, those rumors out there that Cleveland was calling about Marvin, those are probably true. They're probably true that they called and said, hey, what's going on? But I'm assuming Monty's like, no, he's not for sale. We're keeping him. I'm assuming. Dan in the chat says K1 is Russell Wilson 2.0. I mean, Russell Wilson at least got himself a Super Bowl. So I don't even know if I would put him at Russell Wilson level. I don't know if I would put him at a Russell Wilson level, to be honest with you. Yeah, I don't know if I put him there. Russell Wilson has accomplished more in his career than Kyler. Yeah, you can throw the Rookie of the Year. That's fine. You can throw the 2-time Pro Bowlers. That's fine. But to me, what's more important to me is what have you done for your team, right? And Russell Wilson made it to the Super Bowl, didn't win it. He should have let Marshawn run the ball. Didn't do that. But yeah, I think Russell has accomplished more. Now, if you want to say Russell now, Mr. Limited Russell, then okay, I'm right there with you. Mr. Unlimited Russell, then I'm right there with you. Michael in the chat with the $2 donation. Appreciate you, man. Thank you so very much for the $2 donation. He says this. Hi, Mike. I like Eiler. I like Eiler too. I like Eiler too. I like Aller too. I don't want to force the pick, but I do like Aller. Where are we picking with the fourth pick? Not the fourth, the fourth overall pick. The fourth round pick, I'm sorry. Okay, so right now the Cardinals are sitting with the third overall pick, the 34th overall pick, and the 65th overall pick. So we're the second pick in the second round, and we're the first pick in the third round right now. And then we got a fourth round pick in the 104th. So the 104th. So maybe Drew Aller there. I'm cool with the Drew Aller at the 104th overall pick. I'm okay with that. Yeah, I'm okay with that. Wow, never thought about Kyler and special teams. I mean, I think people were just talking their SHIT in the chat. I don't think it's gonna happen. I think people were just talking their stuff in the chat. That's all it is. I don't think he's gonna be a special teamer myself. But Superman in the chat says, I don't know why we kept Nick Rallis. Oh, it was convenient. I mean, they called it as they wanted somebody with experience, right? They wanted somebody with experience to call plays. That's what we heard originally. That they wanted somebody with experience in calling plays. And Aubrey Pleasant didn't have that. Charlie Bullen didn't have that, although he decided to go back anyways. Dino Vasso decided to go back anyways, and Wink Martindale's in college still. So they just decided to stay with who they know, the players that know him, Now, does he last 2026? Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? But I agree with you. I don't know why they did it either. Not our decision at this point. Life, what's up, Life? At this point, throw like a fourth or round 4 with Kyler. Force a team like the Jets or the Falcons to take him. You know, for the sake of opening up cap space, maybe. The problem is that you can't force anybody to do what they don't want to do, right? You can't force anybody to do what they don't want to do. All I can say right now is that the Jets will not be in play for Kyler if he gets released. I just don't see it happening. I really don't. Red in the chat says Russell Wilson did win a Super Bowl. Yep, exactly. And that's why I'm like, yeah. I don't know if I would compare Kyler to Russell. Prime Russell was a good Russell Wilson. Now, Mr. Unlimited Russell is not that good. But I mean, he's already in his 30s, man. Like, I don't blame him. Oh no, we suck again. Aaliyah in the chat, so we should have kept Josh Allen. Josh Allen? We never had no Josh Allen. I don't know. We never had a Josh Allen. Or you're talking about Zach Allen? If you're talking about Zach Allen, well, I agree with you. Sinner in the chat says, should we call up Carson Palmer since what is it? Since we're talking wild, shoot. Call up Carson Palmer, call up Kurt Warner, get him off the chair and let's go, man. Let's rock and roll, man. Let's rock and roll. Because if you guys do not know, yes, it's crazy talk time right now. Like, we're in shambles, bro. Let's be real. Like, Cardinal fans, we're in shambles. Let's be real. Like, everybody has an opinion on this whole matter right now. The opinion that is flooding and making its way through the social media world is that the Cardinals need to get Jeremiah Love with the 3rd overall pick. Right now, that is with and wherever this came from, I have no idea where this came from. Like, who's the one who originally started it? It probably was an aggregator account or those profile accounts that most likely will change their name when a player moves on, right? The guys that have themselves listed off as, I don't know, some name like somebody enthusiast, right? Or something aura, right? Like those 12, 13-year-olds that love to change their profiles, right? And love to change their accounts to other people's faces, right? They're probably the ones who started it, right? So if it does go haywire and it doesn't work out for the Arizona Cardinals, they're nowhere to be seen because they're gone. Because they're all they are is in imagination. That's probably where this came from. I'm gonna be real here. I'm not signing my approval of getting Jeremiah Love with the 3rd overall pick. I do like Jeremiah Love, just not with the 3rd overall pick. Positional value is important to me, and I just don't think it's smart. But if they go that route, then let's just hope that the people, let's just hope that it works. That's all I can say. Let's just hope that it can work. Can Matt Schaub still sling the rock? I don't know, man. I don't know, dude. I don't know if he can still sling the rock. Fanatics, what's up, man? He says our drafting at a quarterback has been yeah, it has been. I mean, we haven't really been doing it very much either, though. So, like, I ended up asking the chat. There's some people out there that feel like Kyler Murray is a bust. I don't think Kyler Murray is a bust, personally. I really don't. I don't think Kyler Murray is a bust. I think Kyler Murray just didn't work here with the Arizona Cardinals. There's people out there that believe he's a bust, and that's fine, right? Opinions can differ. Josh Rosen was dreadful. that was dreadful. But when was the last time we got a quarterback in the 1st round? It's been a long time. It's been only as of late, as in the recent years, the Cardinals have done it. Like, they've been very, very veteran savvy or veteran heavy when it comes down to the quarterback. That's what they've been doing. So, yes, I agree, but they haven't really been doing a lot of it. But we'll see. We'll see. Go get Ty Simpson in the 2nd round. Well, man, from your lips to the football god's ears, man. From your lips to the football god's ears. If he's there, hell yeah. Hell yeah. The problem is, will he last there? It's going to be the same thing that Jackson Dart happened. And I told y'all that it was going to happen. I like Jackson Dart. I thought Jackson Dart was going to be a really good player in the NFL, at least a starting caliber. But I was never going to say Super Bowl. I don't know. Nobody can predict that. Nobody can predict who's going to be a Super Bowl winning quarterback, right? But I even said it. I was probably early on this. Jackson Dart was going to be an NFL caliber player. And I said to myself, this is where I was stupid, where I was like, if he lands in the third round, oh, watch out. But once we got closer to the draft, it almost kind of seemed like apparent, like he was going to be a second rounder or he was going to be a first rounder. And that's where the Cardinals were probably not going to touch that. But yeah, Jackson Dart, solid, man. Solid. Is Ty Simpson one of the same? Well, development has to be important, right? We got to develop the quarterback. It's very important. So we'll see. Ian in the chat says Liner, Rosen, and Murray in the last 20 years. Yeah, so Liner was it 07? If I can remember correctly. Was it 07 or 06? If I can remember. I don't remember what year it was. But yeah, man, it's only been 3. So dreadful, yeah. I'll put that up there. Yeah, for sure. I don't think Kyler's a bust. I think Kyler just didn't work here. But opinions. Would you guys be happier with Simpson or Green or a vet? I would be happy with Simpson and a vet. That's who I would be happy with. The vet, preferably Jacoby Brissett. I would love to have Jacoby Brissett help, mentor, and develop. Give some tips and tricks over to Ty Simpson. That would be my most idealistic thing. Now, if Jacoby Brissett gets traded because of value and the Cardinals want to get some value back, then who enters the chat? Mr. Jimmy G. Right? So if Jacoby Brissett gets traded, then probably Jimmy Garoppolo as your bridge guy and still get Ty Simpson. Because even if we get a vet, I don't care. The Cardinals still need to drop the quarterback. And even if that quarterback doesn't work and you want to get yourself another quarterback next year, F it. F it at this point. Just do it. But for the new people that are just joining in right now, we're about to hit the hour mark. But yes, news came out about now, 2.5 hours ago from recording or going live, that per Ian Rapoport, that Kyler Murray is likely to be a release, barring any last-second trades. So when is Kyler going to get released? Expect maybe sometime this week. For it to happen. Don't know when. I can't pinpoint when, but a week from tomorrow is when the tampering period opens up. So maybe expect sometime this week. Sinner, what's up, man? We got a $2 donation coming our way from Sinner. What's up, brother, man? Appreciate it.
Another one.
He says this: no matter what happens, always a Cardinals fan. Love it. Yes, agree. And I've said this before, right? I've said this before. A lot of guys that will come at you for any which direction. This is the time where you got to start asking yourself the question: are you a Kyler Murray fan or are you a Cardinal fan? Right? We're gonna have people leaving this fan base, and that's fine. That's fine. A lot of experiences I've had with Kyler Murray stands are very unbearable. I mean, let's be real. They're probably like a lot of 12-year-olds, 13-year-olds that have no business of having a phone, right? And they're on the internet just causing havoc, right? They're just watching the world burn. That's all they're trying to do, right? Like, it's crazy. But this is what it is, man. It is what it is. Cardinal fan through and through, man. Unless they move somewhere else, because they're an Arizona Cardinal fan through and through. Michael in the chat says, who's Green? Taylor Green. Taylor Green had an outstanding 40. It's just, for me, Taylor Green is just way too raw for me. I don't know if I'm on the Taylor Green train myself. He's just way too raw for me. What round does Ty Simpson go if he's in next year's draft? Oh, that's a good question. Well, it's so hard to project. Because you don't know, man. Like you don't know, right? Like, it's so hard to project that. Because Arch most likely will come out. Dante Moore most likely will come out. Why am I blanking on some names in 2026? It's supposed to be a really good draft class in 2027, not 2026, 2027. Why am I blanking on the names that are probably going to come out in 2027? Let me look it up right now. 1 second. I know Archie, Dante Moore, Brendan Sorbsy, Trinidad Chambliss. And I don't know if I feel how I feel about Trinidad Chambliss anymore. With how the way he was avoiding the NFL, I don't know how I feel about that anymore. I guess that's just to name a few, but there should be a couple more that will be coming out. So we'll see. We'll see how it all shakes out. Do me a massive favor. We've had over 100 people here watching on this live stream. Do me a massive favor. Right now, we're sitting with 38 likes. Smack the like button, ladies and gentlemen. Smack the like button. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Let's see if we can hit 50 likes by the time we close up shop right now. Also, subscribe. We are on the road to 19K. Cannot do it without you guys. Appreciate you guys. And when we do hit 19K, we will be giving away an Arizona Cardinals Nike Rivalry mini helmet. So make sure you subscribe it up, ladies and gentlemen. We're almost there. We're less than 200 away. Subscribe it up. Smack the like button. Thanks for being here. Let's read a couple more comments, and then we will be closing up shop. Yes, there you go. I forgot about that. Lenore Sellers is also a guy that's probably can very well hit top quarterbacks in this year's next year's draft for sure. Let's read a couple more comments. Let's go with Red. What's up, Red? If Kyler Murray is released, the Cardinals owe him $36.8 million. Murray just retire. Nah, Murray's gonna play, dude. Murray's gonna play. There's no doubt in my mind that he's gonna be playing. There's no doubt in my mind that he's gonna be playing in 2026. Now, past 2026, I don't know. All right, one more comment. Sam Levitt. I don't know. I'm an ASU fan, so I'm not sure how I feel about Sam Levitt anymore. Personal preference. Let me see what he does in this year, and then we'll kind of move on from there. Okay, let's do this. We're going to be closing up shop. We hit 46 likes. That's good enough. That's good enough. All right, ladies, let's close up shop right now. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. For the people that just joining in, yes, we did hear that there are some rumors out there. No, not even rumors. A report from Ian Rapoport saying that likely the Cardinals will be releasing Kyler Murray. When it's going to happen, maybe sometime this week. We probably will hear the breaking news that it's actually officially official. So, now he also did say, barring any last-second trade, pray to everything out there that we get that last-second trade because, man, that dead money hit is going to be so brutal for the Cardinals if that does come to fruition. But they're trying to avoid guaranteed salary in 2027. That's what the Cardinals are trying to avoid at the end of the day. So let's see. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's close up shop. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Hopefully, you guys are having a fantastic rest of your Sunday. Thank you so much for tuning in and giving me about an hour of your guys' time. Smack the like button on your way out. Subscribe to the AZ Sports Fan here on YouTube as well. You guys are all amazing. Peace out. Later. Yo. Oh, yeah, check out the new graphic. Kyler's already gone. Go Cardinals.